your article today, your scorecard for the industry. 247 Sports was the winner. For those who haven't read it yet, exactly how did we do it? And I use we, kind of liberally here because I wasn't on the team back in 2016, 2017 when these ratings were being assessed to these high school recruits. But how did 247 Sports separate from the rest of the industry and get the dub?
So first of all, and again, just to reiterate, the way this was graded out, basically it was a scoring system that gave, you get points for having the close, most accurate ranking. And then, least accurate ranking, obviously you get the points diminish from there. And so every player was graded, and if no one had them ranked as a 4 or better, he sort of passed on them. So I think there's about 117 or something players had a grade from at least somebody. And again, there were 70 of the top 107 had a grade by at least someone. So that was, things dipped in the later rounds. But I gave bonus points for having a top 32 guy ranked in the top 32 go in the first round, and I gave penalties to a guy that was ranked outside the 4-star range who others had as a 4-star. And I think for us, like where we really hit, and this is something that is, I'll give you a few examples of our big win. So I think in the first round, a big win that we had was the quarterbacks. One, it was Joe Burrow, having him as the highest ranked inside the top 247. And that was even, we didn't even really get a chance to see him. And I would argue maybe if we were ranking today, we would even rank him even higher because we have further prioritized efficiency, production, and been less concerned about sort of what the raw talent looks like. Like, what are you doing on the field is the most important thing. We kind of took that a little bit from Cliff Kingsbury. That's been a big emphasis of Cliff Kingsbury when he's evaluated the quarterback position, and that's been something that has really proven to be a good indicator. Burrow was off the charts in terms of that stuff. We just didn't have the confidence to go higher than we did because we hadn't had a lot of exposure to him. So Burrow was a win. Tua Tagovailoa was a win. I remember thinking back, making Tua a 5-star kid. We caught a lot of heat for that, particularly because Jake Fromm wasn't a 5-star. And Tua was small at the time. And at that point, Kyler Murray hadn't been drafted yet. And being 6-foot-ish isn't ideal. But Tua had these big hands. He was had these incredible intangibles, and he was awesome at the Army All-American Bowl. And so, we bet on that. And I think, frankly, the more you can dig into leadership and intangibles at the quarterback position, the better, because we see busts every year, and a big part of that is just how committed are those players, because it takes incredible commitment at the quarterback position. And then the other one that I think speaks to from the first round, that speaks to sort of our direction in terms of how we look at guys is Austin Jackson. Now, this was the first round that saw a lot of big-bodied offensive tackles get drafted, but Austin Jackson very much fits into the prototype. This is the USC offensive tackle, as a guy that was young for his class. He was very long, basketball player, 3-sport athlete, 50-plus foot shot putter. So you have all these contributing athletic verifiers that you sort of have a better sense of who he is. And frankly, like, his career wasn't necessarily always a no doubt 5-star career, but even this draft is like a projection on who we think he's going to be. And so that ultimately hit, and we were sort of rewarded for taking that gamble on a guy that wasn't a polished product. So, I mean, those are the first round guys that we, I think, really won with. There's more that I think speak like we started. I think that was the year in that 2015, 2016 area where we really started to try to like find these guys and go against the grain if we needed to. Dalton Keene was one we hit as a 4-star, played quarterback, tested really well, played outside linebacker, tight end, like everywhere for his high school. That's the versatility that you need to have at the tight end position. Leki Fotu, 1 year playing football, was all-state, played rugby before that, was 255 pounds, goes to Utah, red shirts, gets drafted as a 330-pounder. Like, those are the type of trends now that we really want to have the expertise to dig into. And I think this is the first class that we really bought into, really selling out for those sort of trends. Quintez Cephas, 5th-round draft pick. 1 year playing football in high school, but his basketball clips were off the chart. If you're not watching his basketball clips, you would never necessarily think he's a first round or an NFL draft pick, but that stuff matters. And so I think that was, in terms of our hits, that was where we started to get some wins this cycle.